Right now at noon, childhood memories crumble as demolition gets underway at a Joplin elementary school.
And we're already starting to heat up out there with those sunny skies. Dangerous heat this afternoon and then strong to severe thunderstorms tonight. We'll look at all of that coming up.
And President Biden and NATO allies announced new military assistance for Ukraine.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Demolition begins on Joplin's Columbia Elementary School. This is KOAM News at Noon. I'm Tanya Bach. Topping our first 7 minutes, it's the end of an era as crews begin demolition on Joplin's Columbia Elementary School. Columbia and West Central students combined in January to start classes in the new Dover Hill Elementary. And in May, former students had the chance to take one last walk through Columbia Elementary and reminisce. You can see more of the demolition and read about the history of Columbia Elementary on our KOAM News Now app. Well, the first of 3 fairs kicks off in Montgomery County today, and this morning 4-H members and other youth checked in their rabbits at the Cherryvale Youth Fair. The youth fair has participants from as many as 6 different counties and will feature up to 150 exhibits.
So my first year at the youth fair was when I was 5 years old, so this will be my 11th year exhibiting. I started out with Pewee, arts and crafts, foods, pictures, and then I've been showing goats and cattle for a few years now, and I've really enjoyed all that.
Well, the rabbit show was at 9 a.m. Poultry check-in is this afternoon with a show starting at 6 p.m. Well, the heat is still here, and from what I hear, it's not very pleasant outside. Chris Warner joins us with a first look at the forecast.
Yeah, if you thought this morning was muggy, boy, right now it is even worse, especially with the heat building with the sunshine out there. That's why we have an alert day today. We have heat advisories and excessive heat warnings for that dangerous heat, and then we're looking at strong to severe thunderstorms as we head into the overnight hours. So let's take a look outside so that you don't have to go outside. MoDOT camera, 20th and range line. You can see some clouds out there, but otherwise more sunshine than cloud cover, and we're getting the same from the KDOT camera at 69 and East 520th Avenue. Plentiful sunshine out there, leading it to be quite hot. And so we do have heat advisories for southeast Kansas until 9, Bourbon, Crawford, Cherokee counties, and southwest Missouri. These run until 7. Ottawa, Delaware County, the heat advisories run until 8, and we have excessive heat warnings for the rest of northeast Oklahoma that run until 8 as well. Yesterday, we started out 71, so right about where we should be, made it to 95, 5 degrees above average, and today is going to be even hotter than that. We're well on our way to those temperatures right around the 100 degrees for some. A little cooler to the north, getting some cloud cover from morning storms up by Nebraska and southern Iowa. We got 88 in Nevada, 87 Fort Scott, 93 in Chinook, 90 Pittsburgh, 93 Joplin, Chatopa, Miami, and 91 in Neosho. Here's what we're keeping an eye on. We have our alert day today. We've got the dangerous heat. The heat index values today could be pushing 105 to 110. We got strong to severe thunderstorms possible tonight, and we've got additional heat and strong thunderstorm chances as we head through the next couple of days as well. We're going to take an in-depth look at your full forecast, the storm chances, the continuing heat, and when we might see some relief here in a few more minutes. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, according to U.S. hiring trends, it's getting harder for many Americans to find work. A recent LinkedIn survey found there's 1 open job for every 2 applicants. And while the U.S. job market remains competitive, the social media site indicates there are some remote positions that still remain in professional services, IT, media, and more. But new employees may need to learn artificial intelligence skills, including how to use ChatGPT.
One is that people are staying in their jobs a lot longer. So there's internal mobility happening. And I think also that they're seeing the headlines and thinking, you know, I'm going to stay put.
Right.
The other thing is that there's multiple people applying for jobs, more and probably jobs that they shouldn't be applying for.
Fisher says more than 20% of companies no longer require a candidate to have a 4-year college degree, but care more about skills-based hiring, meaning they're looking at whether a person possesses the skills to do the job. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky met with President Biden today at the NATO summit. He's trying to convince world leaders that his nation should be allowed to join the military alliance. Natalie Brand has more.
A united front by leaders of NATO countries as they announce new long-term security commitments to Ukraine.
We're going to help Ukraine build a strong, capable defense across land, air, and sea.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says he's grateful for the support. That includes long-range missiles, tanks, and for the first time, training for Ukrainian pilots on American F-16s.
An important package of security guarantees.
Earlier, Zelensky greeted President Biden and other world leaders as he makes the case Ukraine should be allowed to join the military alliance.
We want to be on the same page with everybody.
President Biden says all allies agree that Ukraine's future lies in NATO, but no timeline for membership was offered.
It's going to happen. You're all moving in the right direction. I think it's just a matter of getting by the next few months here.
Immediate NATO membership would draw the entire alliance into Russia's war in Ukraine. The allies want to avoid that and need Ukraine to meet other conditions, including fighting corruption.
Today we meet as equals, and I look forward to the day we meet as allies.
Even without a timeline for NATO membership, Zelensky called his trip to the summit a meaningful success for his country. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Well, marking the one-year anniversary of the Webb Space Telescope, NASA released a spectacular new image today showing the closest star-forming region to Earth. It's a colorful picture of swirling gas with hundreds of young sun-like stars. It's 390 light years from Earth. That's a look at today's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Up next on KOAM News at Noon, a Maine company that specializes in making flags is going retro. Why the business hopes state lawmakers take notice. And later, we're making dining car steak in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. What's old is new again when it comes to the Maine state flag. A retro design inspired by the original version is popping up everywhere, from homes to hats and soon license plates. Brittany McHatton visited a factory that's proudly turning the clock back to 1901.
Maine Stitching Specialties in Skowhegan manufactures a wide variety of items, none more recognizable than the American flag.
This factory has made American flags for over 30 years. And it's a small business, it's not a huge business, but we really take a lot of pride in that.
About 6 years ago, owners Bill and Julie Swain decided to add another product, a 1901 original Maine flag. Turns out they were onto something.
It's actually a really fun business. We sell different products such as hats, trucker hats and whatnot. And we can't keep them in stock. They're awesome. People love them.
1901 Maine flag isn't the only business going retro, but Swain says what sets them apart is their attention to detail.
I love this image. I love this tree because to me it looks like a pine tree. It has the brown roots. It has the green limbs that actually look like pine boughs.
Swain hopes Maine's elected officials are paying attention to those details too.
If I were to say anything to the people in charge, I would ask them, please stay true to the original flag. Look at that design and come up with a tree that looks like that and that really represents Maine.
Then there's the topic of the official state flag. Maine voters may soon get to decide whether to keep the current design or restore the original version. Swain says she sees both sides of the debate.
What's neat about it is it's part of our history. So I think it's a win-win. Even if we don't have it as our current flag, it's such a great part of our history that it's nice to wear it and represent Maine.
Well, in 2025, Maine plans to begin issuing new license plates with a design inspired by the original flag. Drivers will have the option to choose a plain version instead. Still to come on the KOAM News at Noon, Mr. Food.
All aboard. Grab your train ticket because we're serving up a melt-in-your-mouth steak that's dining car fancy.
But first, we're tracking dangerous heat for the next couple of days and strong to severe thunderstorms tonight. We'll break down that full forecast when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM News at noon. So we've got a lot going on across the 4 states. We've got dangerous heat today, could see dangerous heat again tomorrow, and we've got severe thunderstorm chances increasing as we head into the overnight hours tonight. Let's start with the heat. We have a number of heat advisories, and we have an excessive heat warning, as you can see. So we have heat advisories that include southeast Kansas through 9 o'clock tonight, and then Bourbon, Crawford, Cherokee counties in southeast Kansas and southwest Missouri. These run until 7 tonight. In northeast Oklahoma, heat advisories, Ottawa and Delaware counties until 8, and then excessive heat warnings for everyone else until 8 tonight as well. And that's just one side of this. Once we get through the afternoon, we've got our severe threat, and there have been some changes since we last saw you this morning. Our tornado threat still low, still roughly the same areas that it was this morning. Our hail threat still, again, roughly where it was, elevated with this hatched area for some potentially very large hail, around 2 inches in diameter in this hatched area up here. But here's what's changed significantly is our wind risk has now gone up to enhance. So you can see a good portion of the area now in this higher end risk for strong damaging wind gusts in excess of 70 miles an hour. And these hatched marks here are indicating the possibility of wind gusts upwards and maybe even in excess of 80 miles an hour as we head into the overnight hours tonight. So there's a lot going on across the 4 states. So let's head into this evening. We're going to start to see a few extra clouds out there, maybe a stray shower or storm initially, but it'll be later this evening, again into the overnight, where we'll start to see more thunderstorm activity. And here we are at 1:30 on Thursday morning. This is where we start to see more of this activity build in. By 4 a.m., we've still got ongoing thunderstorms across the area, and they will continue. 6 a.m., they're still hanging on. By 8 a.m., we're down to just a few, but we still have some strong thunderstorms hanging out until they eventually clear out between about 8 and 10 a.m. on our Thursday. Once they do so, they leave us hot and humid once again as we go through our Thursday afternoon. And then we've got another round of thunderstorm chances as we go into Thursday evening. Here we are at 8 o'clock. Another batch of potentially strong, maybe low-grade severe thunderstorms as we head through our Thursday and overnight into Friday morning. Another round of strong, potentially low-grade severe showers and thunderstorms rolling through. And as you can see, they won't clear out of here until about 6 or 7 Friday morning. And then there will be another round as we head into Friday night. So let's take a look at the next few days. We've gone to an enhanced risk now across a good portion of the area. Again, that's primarily for that wind threat with an elevated risk surrounding that. We've still got that low wind risk for strong, possibly low-grade severe thunderstorms tomorrow, and then we go back to a low to elevated risk for us on Friday across the area with these thunderstorm chances. So there's a lot going on, and again, we've also got that heat. MoDOT camera, 20th and Rangeline. We've got a few clouds, otherwise lots of sunshine out there. There's a few of those clouds here on our camera at the KOAM studios just north of Crestline. And here's another view. Again, partly cloudy skies out there, but not enough to block that sun. Sitting at 93 in Joplin. Already feels like 100. Dew point is up there at 71. And it's getting a bit breezy, though. Not like it's helping, but south breeze at 16, gusting to 24. As we look over to Pittsburgh, 90 feels like 96. Dew point is at 70, and temperatures across the region, they look like this. 91 Lamar, 90 in Pittsburgh again, 93 Chanute, 93 Chatopa, Miami. And with those dew points factored in, we've got heat index values already 100 up to 106 down in Veneta. So let's take a look at what we're expecting after this. So we're still going to be hot today. I have that possible alert day tomorrow for more hot weather, more scattered strong thunderstorms. And we'll see additional thunderstorms as we go into our Friday night, another hot one Friday. Then the weekend cools down, upper 80s. We get a brief break from the heat, and then we see it return as we head through next week. Temperatures climbing once again, mid-upper 90s to near 100 by next Friday. So this break from the heat is, only about 3 days long before we go right back to it. And like I said, we're going to be here tracking these thunderstorms as they roll into the area overnight tonight.
Basically, we've got like 2 ridiculously hot days and then nights with severe weather back to back.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're looking at right now.
Wow, well, it's like a double whammy there.
It is.
Quadruple whammy.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, stick around. We're making dining car steak after the break. Well, today's recipe feels like fine dining, but it's as easy to make as your favorite weeknight dinner. Howard shows us how to make his dining car steak in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
If you've ever had the opportunity to have dinner in the dining car of a train, then you'll probably have some pretty fun memories of it. Now, I'm not talking about grabbing a hot dog and a bag of chips at the concession stand, but rather sitting down to a complete meal in the dining car. The recipe we're making today is inspired by just that. Plus, it's perfect for this time of year when you want to serve something special. The first thing we're going to do is mix some softened butter with some minced garlic, a squeeze of lemon juice, and chopped parsley. Then we spoon that down the center of a piece of wax paper and roll it up, creating a log. While the butter chills in the fridge, we'll cook up a couple of strip or ribeye steaks that we've seasoned. When the chilled seasoned butter hits the hot steak and begins to melt, get ready to take a bite of the most flavorful steak you've ever tasted. To get the recipe for our melt-in-your-mouth steak, all you have to do is visit our website and look for what we call dining car steak. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a dining car fancy way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Well, you can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Here's a look at our 4-state market prices.
All right, we've got dangerous heat today. Heat index values 105 to 110, possible highs right around the 100. Highs right around the 100 again tomorrow and Friday across the area. And then we're watching the possibility of strong to severe thunderstorms overnight tonight after about midnight and between the midnight and 7 a.m. So, of course, we'll be here in the Skywatch Weather Center tracking those severe storms tonight, and make sure you're taking care of yourself in the heat today.
A lot of things to think about out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Well, coming up tonight at 5, a family in Pennsylvania is relieved to have their baby back home. He just received the smallest pacemaker in the world. And help watch how doctors used an innovative approach to save this little boy. Plus, it's orientation day for new teachers in Carthage, Missouri. We take you there. And the Kansas Special Olympics host a bowling tournament for adults in Pittsburgh. Join us for those stories and much more tonight on the KOAM News at 5.
Thank you so much for joining us for the KOAM News at Noon.
The rest of the team will see you right back here at 5 o'clock.